Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for more GG Leagues Elite League action. I'm Mr. Bepic. I'm joined in the booth by the wonderful Cyrus Stims. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm definitely excited for tonight's matchup where we have Timeless against CSU Stanislaus, and I'm excited. Now, Stanislaus has had a bye week, so they are only 1-1, but
Hmm.
Timeless, they were the team that kicked off the the league for us here on the stream with
Right.
a monstrous performance, and since then, they've kept it up and are 3-0 overall. So I'm definitely looking forward to tonight.
They have not looked back since that week 1 win, and they've looked good doing it. I mean, 3-0 undefeated at this point in the season. We're about halfway through the round robin stage of the Elite Leagues, and Timeless have been very, very close to getting themselves in the playoffs. I think going 3-0 not only puts you in a perfect position to clinch in the coming weeks, but also to just send a message to your opponents that we are one of the best teams in this league.
Yeah, you could almost say it's a timeless message, really, when you declare yourselves to be the top of the leaderboards, the team to beat, and that's what they've done so far. And I know we're expected to get into the action any second now. And so, like, my prediction for the evening will be that Timeless is probably going to run away with this. I don't know if they'll be able to do it in three straight, but I'm expecting some high flying performance out of them.
Not a bad prediction. I mean, we have the ranks in front of us, and Timeless, I mean, we knew coming into this tournament they were one of the best teams, considering they have two SSLs and a GC3. That always bodes well, just having that rank disparity advantage when you're in a round robin format like this. But Stanislaus, I mean, not too bad. A full GC1 roster, so they're at least in that GC rank. And they should be able to at least be pretty competitive against Timeless. But we'll see Cyro Stims where we go.
Yes, that's what we will. And so we're off to the action right away. And it's so far Timeless with the pressure and a great
Oh,
shot, slotting that right underneath the crossbar.
phenomenal beginning for Timeless. It's Zekers over to Ray, and that is about as textbook as it gets from the start in the
Ooh.
corner to the passing out center to the shot underneath the crossbar. Phenomenal beginning for Timeless, and well, Stanislaus, they have the gauntlet thrown down in front of them. Now, how do they respond? Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, it's looking like a pretty rough response so far, as Timeless with a lot of pressure right off that kickoff. So Ray collects this one in the corner. He's putting it up in the midfield, passes it to Zekers, a little bit behind there, but still a good play. But Supreme Nervy's up for that one off the backboard, and this is still a very dangerous ball. It's floating. It doesn't find the back of the net in as it gets cleared to the corner.
Well, Timeless looking pretty confident early on. Zekker's going for a pre-jump on that previous pass, and Timeless going to keep possession despite their attempts at fancy plays. It's Ray with a ceiling reset into his teammate Fusions, but an
Oh,
over-aggressive stance in offense leads to a punishment from CSU.
yep. CSU punishes that questionable play out of Zekers there. He wanted to get the play off the wall, but kind of half committed to it. And once that hesitancy came through, you definitely saw it bounce off the wall. But with that said, we're into the third kickoff of the match. Score is tied at 1, and seems like Stanislaus is holding up fairly well. But a tic-tac-toe shot and a great effort there out of Timeless by Fusion with the shot. But ultimately, the defense held strong for Stanislaus.
Stanislaus is going to have to continue to maintain a solid presence on that defensive end, turn away any and all strong attempts from Timeless, because you'll be facing a lot. If they start to find their way to the back of the net consistently, then you'll be in a difficult position. But that is great stuff right there from Stanislaus. They had good possession. They were making the defense of Timeless use boost and be pulled out of possession or position rather for a bit. So we stay tied. Timeless a bit more defense, I'm sure, than they would like to at the moment.
Yeah, Timeless definitely doesn't feel as polished as I remember, but it could just be the spectacle, as Stanislaus is moving into an aggressive stance here. Trying to get a centering pass. Doesn't quite happen. A bit of a team bump there. And it is Ray trying to clear the ball out with Zeker. Zeker puts it into the corner. He is going to be able to get a centering pass. Look for Ray. It's a bit of a touch and a clean setup for Ray, but it's off the crossbar. And oh no, Timeless wants that one back.
That was the perfect setup from Zekers, and Ray couldn't capitalize. That's gotta hurt a bit. Timeless Despite playing confidently at the moment, they have had a few miscues in the offensive end. Of course, that one led into the opening goal for CSU, and then the other, we just saw it where Ray couldn't put in the very, very open net. So these are opportunities for Stanislaus to capitalize on, and if they can punish these mistakes, then perhaps we really do see that very competitive series.
Yes, and it's definitely feeling more competitive than I think either team was expecting. But Supreme nervy there with a good centering pass. But Timeless gets the clear. It's up for Fusion. He puts it off the backboard. Can't find the double touch. Ray's there. He puts it wide on the far post. And that's picked up by Supreme. He's going to walk it out. He goes off the wall. Looking for the ceiling reset. Gets a little bit of it. But it's the Cookie Thief with the next touch up. Not quite a threatening touch there. So, bit of back and forth right now. But overall, still a very competitive match.
Definitely, it's not continuing this game to play out the way it started, with Timeless controlling the majority of that possession. It's very back and forth at the moment to fight for the midfield line, which CSU was one at the moment, setting up an opportunity, but it's blocked by Fusions. That's clutch. That's 90 seconds left. The next goal is going to be very important for both sides, or rather the one side that nets that next goal. It's looking like it will be Timeless. Ray can't miss that one, as it was very, very open.
This wall pinch was absolutely fantastic there.
Oh, that's what scored. Wow.
Yeah, it was the wall pinch, 100% there. It was a thing of beauty for Ray there. Definitely the ray of sunshine they needed after that previous play.
Stanislaus have had a couple of moments on their defensive end where they have made big errors, like double commits, leading to that open net earlier, and the open net we just saw. And that'll burn you against Timeless. Though, in transition, a chance here, and there's the quick equalizer. Cookie Thief with a second.
Yeah, he was robbing the cookie jar there because he just put that win in right up above there, over top of Zekers. Not much he could do there. And once again, the score is all tied up within seconds of one team scoring. And yeah, I was not expecting game one to go this way, if I'm going to be honest.
Stanislaus can play this entire series the way they've played game one. And it will be a tight one from start to finish. But Timeless a chance here. Zekers shot on, but saved. Cookie Thief doing it offensively and now defensively, keeping this game tied. But Timeless trying to continue an onslaught, blocked away by Delta.
Yeah, Delta with a good pinch here. Centers it. Oh, great save out of Zekers there, but the follow-up is almost there by Cookie Thief. So Ray, he's got a little bit of space to work with. Wave dashes across mid lane. Doesn't quite have control of the ball, but he gets past one, but the second defender is there. Fusion's up for the defensive touch, puts it off to the side, and now it's Cookie looking for the centering play. It's up over Zekers. Ray is there off the backboard, and a great forward clear there, which should buy time for Timeless to reset and get the rotations back underneath them.
Oh, great bumping play by Zeker, and then the back pass from Ray, or to Ray rather, from Fusions. That was perfect. And it sets up the offensive to take the lead late. Clinical from Timeless.
Yeah, just a nice clean shot there out of Fusions, and basically dead center net right under the crossbar. That's a hard angle to shoot from and a harder angle to save because you never know if it's quite going right there. But 12 seconds left on the clock. Can CSU make a late game comeback here? It's going to be hard, as I think Ray's just looking for demos there. But Delta with the centering pass, two are up for it. Bit of a double commit. It goes wide, and Ray with a good clear here should be able to kill the ball, and it does touch down. So game one going over to Timeless, but a much closer game than I think they would have wanted.
They settled down offensively towards the end. They put on 10 shots. That is a solid offensive showing. It was just some mistakes on their back end that led to a good showing in game one, I think, from CSU. They need to continue to take the possession that's given to them by Timeless and see what they can do with that. But going forward, now that Timeless has sort of found their groove, it'll definitely be a tough task.
Yes, this was always going to be an uphill battle for Stanislaus, but they showed in that game that they are fully capable of taking it to Timeless and, well, make them feel the pressure of time because they were constantly evening up the game within seconds, which is great to see. They were punch for punch there, and if it wasn't for that third goal being super late into the game, I think they would have come back. So game two is still up for anyone, and this is a best of seven series. So both these teams still have games to work with.
Yep, a lot of time for adjustments to be made for both sides, and I think that goes both ways. Is Timeless can shore up some of those rotational mistakes that led to a couple of CSU goals there, but on the flip side, CSU can figure out how to force more mistakes out of Timeless and figure out how to up their possession numbers headed into game two. An extended break as we get some tech stuff sorted out, but once they take the field again, CSU definitely looking to up the possession and put more pressure on Timeless, because when they were forcing that back line of Timeless to do work, it was tough for Timeless at times.
Yeah, it was definitely tough for Timeless, and you could see that both teams really they had to come together for that goal line defense because both teams at times if they weren't on their goal line, they were going to let a goal through, but they held strong and it was just great to see and both teams they had opportunities that you just know they want back, especially that perfect setup for Ray who then bounces it off the crossbar. It goes straight down, straight back up and somehow still doesn't go in. I think Timeless definitely has to clean up those chances better if they want to make this series a bit cleaner.
They will. And we are going to go to a short break as we do get all of this sorted out. So don't go anywhere. It was a very close game one, and I have a feeling that'll be how the rest of this best of seven shakes out. More GGLeagues Elite Leagues coming up in just a bit. Welcome back. We got all that boring stuff sorted out. We should be back to the exciting stuff momentarily. Cyro Stims, we saw a very tight game one that Timeless ultimately took at the very, very end. 12 seconds left on the clock. They scored that go-ahead goal. You see that continuing as the series goes on?
Oh, I don't know if it will see games that tight again, but definitely competitive because it was back and forth that entire series, and I think either team could take a game off the other right now, despite the rank disparity that we led on to earlier. That definitely doesn't seem to be that big of a factor so far today. So I'm excited, and I'm not quite sure what to predict anymore because I thought Timeless would come out a lot stronger. Hopefully, they find their groove and live up to expectations, but we won't know until we get into the next game.
That is for sure. And as game two does get very close to getting underway, Timeless going to need to make sure that they keep rotations solid in the offense. They don't get too overzealous on their end of things and make sure they've always got someone back to deal with the potential long clearance that CSU, I'm sure, will be looking for in the next game, as that's how they got half their goals in the last one. So moving forward, my eyes are on Timeless. Of course, as the higher ranked team, all the eyes typically gravitate towards them, but CSU can use that moment as the underdog to strike and strike hard.
Yeah, CSU being the underdog also means that you have less pressure on you, which can free up at least a little bit
Right.
of mental capacity so that way you can make more plays. You can take a few more risks. You can
Mhm.
play a little bit more aggressive than you normally would because you're not trying to hold on to your lead. You're just trying to have fun, trying to take it to the man, trying to take it to the timeless, and maybe, shatter that hourglass, break the clock. And who knows, maybe that upset will come true.
Well, we shall see. Stanislaus, again, tall task ahead of them, taking on one of the two undefeated teams currently in the standings. That's always a fun narrative to bring into a matchup because Stanislaus, they're going to be giving this their best shot. They want to take down number two at the moment and ultimately send a message to everyone else saying that, right, we took down one of the top dogs. I think that would make them close to being one of the top dogs despite their one loss in that column. But game two actually getting underway, Cyrus Sims. We have been talking a while, and we do have a substitution on the side of Timeless.
Well, substitutions are always pretty fun because they change up the dynamics, and we are actually hopping into game now. So the kickoff is there. So it looks like all the names are the same so far. Yeah, yeah.
Zekers
Okay.
is being
Fun.
replaced by Twan right now.
Fun.
He
Okay.
apparently died, according to game chat. No idea what happened there. It happened in between games one and two when we were milling about trying to get tech resolved. But
Oh,
I'd say
damn!
Twan is not a bad replacement for Zekers. What a start.
Yeah, that's just a great solo effort there by Twan, who puts it in with that final touch, and yeah, just a great solo effort to open up the scoring. And to be honest, this was the timeless I was expecting to see. Great solo effort followed by solid team play. And so Twan with that 50-50 challenge, it puts it against the wall. Ray with a flick past one defender, doesn't get it past Cookie Thief, but now it's the counterattack by Stanislaus here. And Supreme, he puts that one up harmlessly as Twan clears that pretty good. Delta misreads the ball there slightly, and this is going to be a centering pass cleared into the corner. Fusion's there, a decent pinch off the wall, but Cookie's there off the backboard. And Supreme with a great touch there, but Ray gets back in time for the save.
A couple of awkward misses coming out of Stanislaus at the moment. I'm not sure if it's because they're maybe nervous. I don't know. It doesn't seem likely. Or perhaps it is just the pace of play they're having to keep up with that Timeless are throwing down. Either way, you miss enough balls in a game, Timeless are going to find enough punishments on those mistakes to make a win out of it. And speaking of a win, that's exactly what Twan's hunting for. What a shot top left.
Yeah, and Cookie just misread that one off the backboard, and that allowed Twan a near perfect shot there, putting that in that near top corner there. Very hard save to make, and Twan definitely seems to be the difference maker right now. And oh, Ray with a dangerous opportunity there, a little bit slow, but still threatening. So it is cleared out by Stanislaus, but Fusion keeps that in. And Supreme puts that deep into the corner. Twat is there, and that's a deep clear into the corner past Delta. And Cookie with a weak touch, Delta with a weak touch too, and now it's up for Timeless to try and make a play happen here. Puts in front of the net, but no one is there to just shove that one in. And now it's Stanislaus with the pressure.
That was a much-needed strong clear from CSU, and then it's put right back in their faces. Good midfield control there from Supreme Nervy, just getting a car on that ball and allowing his teammates to pick up boost and establish a constant rotation, or consistent rotation, rather. It's not as panicked as it looked a second ago when they were missing ball after ball that Timeless were putting into their own end. So we approach the halfway point, and finally, solid offense here from Stanislaus, but nothing doing, and now in transition, looks to be an open net.
Yeah, it could be an open net here, but Cookie is back for it, and luckily that ball does go high off the backboard. And then Fusion is able to get down in time, and he tucks that one neatly away.
And it was another defensive mistake that ultimately conceded that goal. Cookie Thief kind of Goomba stomped Supreme Nervy right there, didn't allow him to go up for that ball, and a freebie taken by Timeless. They have done a much better job of taking advantage of those situations in this game, and I think this is more what we expected out of game one.
Okay, Supreme there with a good near post shot there. Can't quite get the read off the wall there, so Fusion picks that one up, puts it off the backboard. No one is quite there able to pick it up, but Delta with a great pinch, not quite on target, but still threatening there. And that is Timeless scrambling back to create the transition for themselves there. Ray, we saw with great pinches before, but a bit of a double command in the corner, and that ball does find its way past Tuan. So Timeless now back their own end, having a regroup, a reset off the backboard, and then a wall pinch, but not quite solid enough. And Delta with a good touch, but just on the crossbar. The follow-up is also a bit wide, but that time it isn't, as Cookie Thief finds the first goal for Stanislaus.
There we go, Stanislaus. Get yourself back in a game. Unrelenting pressure. Players rotating in one after another. And I'm pleased to see it's Cookie Thief that nets the first for CSU, because he has looked probably the weakest in this game. 2 out of the 3 CSU players. It's been a string of mistakes from him. So perhaps that goal rights the wrongs of the previous minutes of game 2 and really gets this Stanislaus rotation going.
But Timeless, they do want to stop that momentum from gathering any more right now. But I think CSU, they want to keep that pressure on, and they are looking to be aggressive here. Tuan with the demo on Supreme, so that should buy them a little bit of time, but Delta is there challenging deep. So Ray has the ball on the wall. A little bit of a double commit there as Fusion tries to knock it, and Tuan is back for that. But Delta should be up in the air pretty free of charge. Fusion puts that one on target. Good save there. Another centering pass. No one is quite there as the rotations were starting to come through. Delta doesn't find the pinch, and this ball does bounce towards the net. Not quite able to find the clear that they want. A lot of side to side right now. Tuan looking for this. Should be able to collect it. Gets the big boost. He's going to look for a play here. He puts it up. He gets the flip reset, but it's stolen away by Supreme. Fusion on target near post. Finds the second touch and puts that one away.
And that was some beautiful time wasting from Timeless, capped off by a third perfect end game play from the boys on in blue, and all of them in strange cars at the moment. Tuan, well, actually, they're still in the Octane, I believe. Yep, just the regular old gentleman decal Octane, but Fusion's in a car, I think the Esper, Cyrus Sims, correct me if I'm wrong, and then Ray in some car. I have no idea what that is. They're playing well with him, though.
Yeah, Ray definitely in one of those unique cars, so not quite sure how the hitbox works on that one, but it seems like Ray is kind of standing still right now, maybe in a Timeless situation there where time isn't moving for him. But either way, the two members of Timeless seem to be doing okay, wasting time, as it is the final 10 seconds. And they could look for another goal here, but with the few remaining seconds, I think this game 1, or game 2, is well put away here for Timeless.
Definitely is. They came out and flexed that GC3 SSL average in game 2, and Tuan especially subbing in and really earning their MVP medal at the end of that second one. Netting 2, Fusions 2 as well. Efficient offense. I mean, that was It's a clinical game and what you would expect with that, 2 rank disparity.
Yeah, that rank disparity definitely shining through that game, I would say. Tuan, especially, he came in so hot and set the bar with that early solo play. And it was just so great to see him making that solo play and then continuing to go for those. Though I do want to say that it looked like Timeless were double committing on one too many balls. And that did give Stanislaus some opportunities for the counter attack because they did have quite a few shots themselves, just not all of them were able to find the back of the net, but they were still able to take one off of Timeless there.
Right, they did have a couple of lethal opportunities to have to figure out how to get more of those and play less defense against the highly mechanical attack that Timeless had employed successfully in that last game. And a lot easier said than done. It's so difficult to shut down the mechanical players of one team when you are a little bit lower on the rank totem pole. So, game 3, when it does get started, I'm eager to see how the defense of Stanislaus plays. If it's fast aggression getting in the faces of Timeless, or if they sit back and let Timeless come to them.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, that if Stanislaus really wants a chance, they can't let Timeless have space with the ball because they just aren't quite up to par right now on the mechanical ability, especially on a solo effort. So taking it to them, being aggressive, challenging early, not giving them space to work with, I
Hmm.
think would be the best pass for Stanislaus going forward. But that means they do have to match Timeless's pace. And boy, do they ever set
That's
a
tough.
quick pace when they feel it.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. Timeless was zipping around the field in that last game, especially Tuan. I mean, when they would take it up the side wall, it seemed like they could do anything in the air. Take it straight to the orange net or slow things down, flip reset play, air dribble, you name it. Tuan looked like they had it in their repertoire. And I think that could honestly be said for all 3 Timeless players, which is why the defense of CSU is going to have such a tough time.
Yeah, no, good defense can lead to a good offense, but the defense has to hold. And right now, I think just trying to put up an iron wall isn't the way to go. You do need that iron wall one way or another because you have to stop the shots that Timeless will inevitably
Hmm.
put out. But really, it's just a matter of controlling the ball, keeping possession, controlling the flow of the game. Now, Timeless, I mentioned their double commits earlier, but their rotations were also looking better this time around. A lot of the deep clears that CSU was getting were picked up pretty harmlessly by Timeless, and that is definitely a good sign for Timeless, but not so great for Stanislaus because they were looking to abuse more of those mishaps from game one.
Right, and Timeless can do that with their mechanics. I think we're still sorting out game 3. Not sure what's going on with the players right now. So excuse our faces hanging on here a little bit longer than all you viewers may be hoping for as you want to watch some Rocket League. But you're right, Cyrus Dims. Timeless were able to pretty well handle those lengthy clears from CSU, even when Stanislaus was able to move forward and start an offensive pressure. They didn't get too many lethal shots at the tail end of those offenses, and then it was clear back into their defensive end. So they're going to have to figure out a way, maybe with demos in the back line, to open up space for their offense to work, not just solely focus on shutting down that timeless offense.
Yep, and the one goal that they did get there was a team effort where it was at least 2, maybe 3 touches to
Hmm.
finally put it in, and if that's what they have to do, that's what they have to do, but that is a heavy investment coming out of Stanislaus there, because it allows Timeless to get a good clear if they even get a single touch, but if they keep possession and get that tic-tac-toe passing play
Hmm.
into the lethal shot, that is that is absolutely fantastic because they can work around the timeless players because if you can't touch the ball, it doesn't matter
Right.
how good mechanically you are.
Well, we'll see if they can employ that going into game 3. We're going to another break. Just an unfortunate night of Rocket League where PCs aren't being cooperative, servers the same. So give us just a bit and we'll be right back. All right, we're back to realsies this time. Game 3 might actually be starting soon, Cyro Stims, as the players take the pitch, and we finally get to decide what kind of a series we are going to have in front of us.
Well, I hope it's a competitive one as Twan goes for that early goal, but Cookie Thief robbing that goal attempt there, and a strong clear right after that as well. And yeah, so far it's a bit of a chaotic start, but Timeless once again with the first real opportunity of the match.
It's not too surprising considering the way possession went in the previous 2 games, but the defense of CSU playing quite well at the moment. They've not had any of those double commits that were plaguing them a bit in the last 2 5-minute periods, although here comes Ray setting up fusions, and all 3 blue cars diving for that ball. Not going to come away with any goals like that with a defense like CSU's.
Yeah, it was a bit of a triple commit there, but Ray put that one high off the backboard. Fusion tried to make a play happen, didn't quite find the touch needed, and now that's Stanislaus with a good clear overall. Cookie Thief kind of gives away that possession there, but Delta should pick this one up first. Puts it up for Supreme. Supreme on target, but Fusion is there for the save, and a great attempt at a CSU as well.
Moving forward, Timeless trying to up their numbers in the orange end, but can't do so. Good control at that midfield line, or at least fight at the midfield. I wouldn't say this ball is completely controlled by anyone just yet. It's about for possession, but that passing play should win it. Timeless, a great setup for a finish, but couldn't quite get around that ball at the last second.
Yeah, it was a great play set up there. Now Twan, he had a chance there, but loses the 50-50. Ray does get that clear into the corner. Trying to bring this one out of the zone, not quite going to get there as Cookie steps up for it. And now Twan trying to get it out of the zone on the other side, not quite making it. That midfield mark proving to be troublesome for the side of Timeless, but finally they break past it, but Cookie picks this one up the corner. Ray is there to challenge, a great centering pass, definitely on target there. This one bounces out. 2 members of CSU are there for the chase. But across the map it goes over to Ray, and now Ray, he's up for it, puts off the ceiling for one, and this is a dangerous shot, and it's under the crossbar, put in by Fusion.
Timeless have been hunting for that kind of goal all game long. That simple pass into the infield, and the shot finally rings true. Great strike from Fusion. Again, just under the crossbar. The placement has been quite nice. There were 2 defenders back to try and find a block on that, but placement too solid, and CSU going to have to battle back from a deficit again.
Yep, but they've done so before, and they can do it again. I have faith. But Ray with that save there, preventing that opportunity. great shot near the ceiling. Does force Cookie to try and clear it. Not a great clear there. It stays in the zone. And a good demo by Fusion creates a lot of defensive pressure off the crossbar. Fusion not with the follow-up touch that he needs. And now Cookie's trying to walk this one out. Delta with the next follow-up touch. Supreme is there as well. A great team play. But Ray is there on defense and breaks up that play. Now Twan with the shot. It gets picked up by Cookie there. And a little bit of bump. Keeping the zone. So Supreme loses that challenge in the air, surprisingly. And Cookie is in net for it. Bit of a dangerous ball bouncing freely in the corner. And neither team quite coming away with the possession that they want.
Now, Timeless keeping CSU pinned back, though, and that is a win for them, though the transitions have looked dangerous. From Stanislaus, a backflip there forces Cookie Thief to make a big save, and Timeless going to have to stick with their one-goal lead. Great defense by CSU Stanislaus, and now a centering pass blocked at the last second by the defense, but looking quite good are the boys on the orange side.
Yeah, CSU definitely looking threatening this game. It's only a one-goal lead, and that can disappear in a flash, as Delta was up for that, but Fusion broke that one up. Cookie's here for the next follow-up play. But once again, Fusion with the next touch, and it's Timeless with the offensive opportunity right now, but this should hopefully get cleared out by CSU, but this ball is stuck in the corner right now. Does bounce up over Fusion's head. It's a bit of a chase for the ball. Fusion will get there first. A decent pitch against the wall. Not out, and it will be a bit of a centering ball, but Twan puts that one up. Ray's up for it, finds the follow-up touch. Fusion's there as well. He's going to drop that. Can Ray or Twan find the next touch? And no! It's off the near post, but it doesn't matter as Ray is there.
And once again, that aerial prowess from Timeless sets up another goal. That time, it was Fusion's beating 2 off that back wall that CSU Stanislaus just couldn't quite wrangle control of the ball from, and it led to a relatively open net on the follow-up of a missed shot. So Timeless, despite their inaccuracies at times, have still found their way into goals in this game thanks to their unrelenting pressure. 30 seconds left, and CSU really needing a key comeback in this series.
Yeah, if they want back in this game, they need a goal now, but I don't think they'll get it as Fusion puts that one onto the ground there in front of the net, but it's cleared away in the corner, and all 3 members of CSU seem to be hovering around that corner pretty hard, but 9 seconds left on the clock, and that clock is ticking down, and this game is going to go in favor of Timeless because a 2-goal lead is more than enough for game 3.
And now CSU in a spot no one wants to be in the best of 7 formats. They have to reverse sweep, win 4 straight. And the points system's pretty much the same as we were talking about at the end of game 2. CSU just has to figure out a way to completely weather that Timeless attack, and their transitions look solid. CSU Stanislaus, that is. If they can cap those off with goals, then perhaps they find a way to take a couple of games off Timeless.
Yeah. Well, we've had enough with breaks here because we are jumping straight into game 4, and it is match point here. So Cookie with the first chance here, but it's broken up in the corner there. Twan trying to carry this one out for a teammate. He's going to dribble it out, actually puts it up, but Delta gets the follow-up touch. Cookie's up for it, but Ray's up first, and this is a dangerous ball off the backboard, and no, it's high off the crossboard, but Twan is there for the open net, and he does manage to get that inside the near post.
The skies belong to Timeless at the moment. Once more, it's just consecutive challenges won up there in the air, and the defense of CSU Stanislaus could not keep up. They're going to have to figure out a way to keep that ball out of the air nearly as much as it has been in the previous couple of games. We take more 50s on the ground, or just keep your ball close to these aerials. That not the case in that situation. Ray, that's the second.
Yeah, Ray's just doing a great job being there for cleanup. Twan once again putting that one on that near post, and it does bounce, fortunately, over to Ray, who is able to kick that one in. But really, as you said it, the story is that Timeless is owning the air. And I was going to say, after the 3rd game, it looked like Stanislaus was a little bit flat-tired there because they had trouble getting off the ground for some of those challenges, and they're paying the price for it now.
Well, this is an open net, though a team bump makes it a little more difficult than it probably should have been. Ray going to get the goal regardless, as it's just a constant battle between multiple CSU defenders and maybe one timeless player. CSU, this is unrelenting offense.
Yeah, unrelenting offense is definitely one way to put it. They are up 3 goals in the first minute. Ray with the early hat trick as well. So Delta with the touch there. Supreme follows it up. But it is Tuan who puts that one down, guides it into the corner for safety. Cookie over to Delta. Delta not finding the follow-up touch needed. So now it's Timeless with the transition play. Ray puts that one on net. Delta gets the touch, but it's not enough as Fusion follows that one up and puts that one right under the crossbar.
Once more, great strike from a timeless player. Fusion just barely beats Supreme Nervy to that ball and still manages to slot it underneath the crossbar. 4-0 timeless, a statement of a game 4 so far, but plenty of time for CSU Stanislaus to work their way out of this hole. 4 goals, not impossible, very difficult, but very much in their wheelhouse. They just have to figure out how to work their way into the blue end and really stay there.
Yeah, but staying in that blue end is often easier said than done because once again,
Yes.
Timeless is on the prowl for another goal. Ray, especially with a good touch here for Fusion. Fusion not quite the angle he wants it, so he can't quite find the goal there, but Delta with a good touch past one defender. Bumps Fusion out of the way. Another bump, and just like that, Stanislaus finds their first goal.
That was pretty. Delta doing work right here, beating one, then bumping the second. Supreme Nervy comes in with the aid on that third defender, and there we go. CSU Stanislaus, an effective transition counterattack to get themselves on the board, and that's a recipe for success if they can replicate it, and this game 4 isn't over yet.
Yep, being physical is always a viable strategy, and a good save by Cookie there. And now they get more of those key bumps on the transition play, and they could look to create something happen. But a good strike out of Supreme, a little bit wide, so Ray just nudges that one further into the corner there, but that one comes out from midfield. Someone's up for that. Supreme not quite being able to find it. But now it's a transition play for Timeless. Fusion with the ball. He puts it against the backboard, pinch off, and a little bit too far. And now Supreme has an open net, but I think he puts it just wide on that far post.
That was a big miss. That could have been cutting what was a 4-goal deficit down to a 3 and then to a 2, but the opportunity not made the most of. Under halfway to go here, CSU. Timeless, they have got a bit shaky in terms of their rotations. That ball going backwards, and it's led to some openings here for CSU Stanislaus.
Yeah, CSU finding those opportunities. Execution is another matter, but at least they're getting the opportunities. And speaking of opportunity, Delta is looking for one right now. It is in the corner, but doesn't get the touch needed, so Fusion clears it. And a great ball put low, and Cookie with a shot there. And with the goal there coming out of Supreme, that lead is cut down to 2.
Great stuff. It's a big showing of resolve, I think, from CSU. They, down by 4 goals, did not let it dampen their heart whatsoever. They have maintained composure, and it's led to some crisp shots on target. The Timeless defense unable to keep up with them at the moment. We'll see what the response is like from the boys in blue, but right now, Stanislaus is rolling.
Yeah, Fusion's trying to go with a fancy pinch there, and okay, yeah, there it is. I was going to say Timeless, they had so much pressure there, I couldn't believe that they wouldn't get a goal in this play.
Supreme Nervy, I think, got stuck right there. A great pinch by Tuan going behind the octane of Supreme Nervy, and after that, the net was a bit wide open. So we got our answer pretty quickly. That's the response from Timeless. It's just a phenomenal offensive play set up by Tuan. I have no idea why they're the sub. I mean, Zekker's very, very good. This is just unfair. Timeless have 4 phenomenal players.
Yeah, Timeless just absolutely fantastic plays right now, but Cookie had a monster save there, but Fusion is there, and well, that is a 4-goal lead once more for the side of Timeless.
And Timeless made defense awkward again. When CSU was playing on the offensive side of things, it was much easier to have their way with the game, but once they were stuck on the defensive end, which is where they've played a majority of the series, it starts to crumble a bit more. So, 60 seconds on this clock. This game and series pretty close to being all sealed up.
Yeah, just under 50 seconds now. So it is going to be Delta trying to get the clearing play. A little bit of a weak touch there, so Fusion gets that. Then gets the bump on Cookie as well. And that just kills a little bit of time there for Timeless. Though I think at this point they don't really even need to because they are that far ahead. Delta with a good touch. It's off the crossbar. Doesn't find the follow-up. Supreme there. Puts it wide of the post as well. And these missed opportunities are the story of the day for Stanislaus.
That's because they didn't get too many opportunities to begin with. So, a 4-0 sweep going to be what Timeless has earned in this series. Well played to them. 4-0, sitting atop the standings here at GGLeagues Elite League. This is the top tier of gameplay at GGLeagues, and Timeless, the tippity top of that iceberg. Well done to them, and I believe that's close to the halfway point of the round robin. Timeless undefeated through it.
Yeah, Timeless sitting 4-0 right now. As you said, they are they're top of the leaderboards there. And that is what, 13 shots on net for Timeless. And when you're just putting that sort of pressure on an enemy, it's hard for them to deal with. But credit where credit is due. Stanislaus still found their opportunities, still took a couple goals off of Timeless there. And when they did score, it was a team effort. And I think every member of their team was involved with each of their goals, which is fantastic to see out of CSU.
Well, that is going to do it for this Tuesday's edition of GGLeagues Elite League. So, for Rhino Vod producing in the background, phenomenal job by him through the breaks. You as well, Cyrus Sims. Thanks for joining me in the booth, and thanks to all you viewers for watching us. And same time, same place next Tuesday. We'll see you then.